What if the only reason you haven't succeeded yet is because you stopped one step too early? Failure feels personal. It feels heavy. It feels like proof that maybe you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. And in that moment, quitting feels reasonable. It feels safe. It feels like relief. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to it. Every single person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is not that they avoided failure. The difference is that they refuse to let failure have the final word. When you fail, it stings. It bruises your confidence. It makes you question yourself. You replay the mistake in your mind. You think about what people might say. You compare yourself to others who seem ahead. And slowly, doubt starts whispering, maybe this isn't for you. But doubt is loudest right before growth. Think about it. When a child learns to walk, they fall over and over again. They don't sit on the floor and say, walking is not for me. They try again. Falling is expected. Somehow, as adults, we forget that. We treat failure like a verdict instead of a lesson. We think one rejection means we're not worthy. One bad result means we're incapable. One setback means we should stop. But failure is feedback. It's information. It's redirection. And sometimes it's protection. It shows you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. The problem is not failing. The real danger is quitting because you failed. Because the moment you quit, you guarantee the outcome. You close the door yourself. But when you keep going, even after embarrassment, even after disappointment, even after things don't go your way, you keep the possibility alive. And possibility is powerful. Failure builds something success never could. It builds resilience. It builds humility. It builds discipline. When you fail and try again, you are training your mind to endure discomfort. You are teaching yourself that pain is temporary. You are proving that your dreams matter more than your pride. That's strength. Not loud strength, not flashy strength, quiet strength, the kind that shows up again tomorrow. Maybe you failed an exam. Maybe your business didn't work out. Maybe you applied and got rejected. Maybe you trusted someone and it fell apart. Whatever it is, it hurts because you cared. And caring is not weakness. Caring means you had the courage to try. Do you know how many people never even try because they're afraid to fail? They stay in their comfort zones. They never risk embarrassment. They never stretch themselves. And yes, they avoid failure, but they also avoid growth. You chose to try. That already separates you. Failure does not erase your effort. It does not cancel your potential. It does not define your future. It is a moment, not a life sentence. The world will sometimes laugh. People may doubt you. Some may even tell you to stop. But remember, people often project their own fears onto others. When someone says, "Be realistic," sometimes they mean, "I was too afraid to try." Don't let someone else's limits become yours. The most successful journeys are rarely straight lines. They are messy. They are filled with detours, wrong turns, and unexpected obstacles. But every setback carries a lesson. Maybe you learned that you need more preparation. Maybe you discovered a weakness you can now improve. Maybe you realized that your strategy needs adjusting. That's progress. It may not look glamorous, but it's progress. When you fail, you have two choices. You can let it shrink you, or you can let it shape you. If you let it shrink you, you start playing small. You stop taking risks. You protect your ego instead of your dreams. But if you let it shape you, you become sharper, wiser, stronger, more aware. Every failure you survive increases your tolerance for discomfort, and success requires discomfort. Nobody achieves something meaningful without moments of doubt and defeat. The key is understanding that failure is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to adjust, to learn, to grow, to return better prepared. Imagine looking back 5 years from now. Will you regret failing, or will you regret quitting? The pain of failure fades. The regret of not trying again lasts much longer. There is something powerful about the person who keeps going. Not blindly, not stubbornly repeating the same mistake, but intentionally improving, reflecting, adapting. That person becomes unstoppable, not because they never fall, but because they always rise. And rising is a choice. It's a decision you make in private, when no one is clapping, when no one is watching. It's choosing to study again, to apply again, to build again, to trust again, to believe again. Even when your confidence feels fragile, even when your energy feels low, you don't need to feel fearless to continue. You just need to value your goal more than your fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's movement despite it. Every time you refuse to give up, you send a message to yourself. I am not defined by one moment. I am not limited by one outcome. I am bigger than this setback. And slowly that belief compounds. Your mindset shifts. Failure becomes less terrifying. It becomes part of the process. You start to understand that mastery takes repetition, that excellence requires mistakes, that growth demands patience. You stop asking, "Why did I fail?" and start asking, "What can I learn?" That question changes everything. Because as long as you are learning, you are not losing. You are evolving. There will be days when you feel like you've hit your limit, days when quitting seems logical. On those days, remember why you started. Remember the vision you had. Remember the version of yourself you wanted to become. That person still exists. That dream is still valid. One failure does not disqualify you. 10 failures do not disqualify you. The only thing that truly stops you is surrender. And you are capable of more than surrender. You have already survived challenges you once thought were impossible. You have adapted before. You have grown before. This is no different. It may take longer than you expected. It may require more effort than you planned. But that does not mean it's not worth it. Some of the greatest breakthroughs happen right after the point where most people quit. If you can hold on a little longer, push a little further, learn a little more, you may be closer than you think. Success is not reserved for the most talented. It often belongs to the most persistent, the ones who keep showing up, the ones who treat failure as a teacher instead of an enemy, the ones who understand that every setback is temporary. So when you fail, feel it, acknowledge it, learn from it, but do not build a home there. Do not unpack your dreams and settle into disappointment. Stand back up, adjust your strategy, strengthen your skills, refocus your mind, and try again. Because the story of your life is still being written. And this chapter, the one with the struggle and the setback, might be the very chapter that builds the strength you need for everything that comes next. Never give up when you fail. Not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because your future deserves the version of you who refused to quit.